Fans are bundled up along the shoreline here in Abbotsford for the Export A Water Ski World Cup. Chilly conditions being braved by our skiers. Karen Truelove on the water, 8th year as a pro now, former U.S. Open overall champion back in 1998. Kind of a struggling 2001, but coming up as of late.
Well, I'm kind of wondering if she's even feeling extra pressure here. Last stop of the Pro Tour here in the U.S. this season, and she hasn't had a great score recently. That actually... this could go either way. You know, when you feel more pressure, sometimes you come through with a great performance,
right.
And on the other hand, you can also fold.
And there's also the pressure of wanting to go into the off-season. She runs 32 off, as we see there. You want to go into the off-season with a good feeling, a good taste in your mouth heading into the wintertime.
And, you know, the women's field has leveled off a lot. Jill Knudsen, a more mature skier who is actually getting better with age. And Natalie Hammer coming up out of the ranks from the younger end. Karen is caught in the middle between these two forces. Here is 35 off. Woo, not a lot of angle out of number 1. Out of number 2, she's a little late here. Running it. Let's see, she's got to keep going. Oh, no! And the lateness caught up with her at number 4, where it almost looked like she just cranked it, maybe trying to make up some of the lateness that she's feeling. Her ski is just not coming around the way it normally does for Karen Truelove. And when you're struggling with your technique, you just start talking to yourself, wondering what in the world is going on. Is it me? Is it my ski? Am I not concentrating? And I know the kind of head games this plays. And look at this. She turned so sharp she could not quite hang on and had to pop that handle. There's disappointment written all over that face.
Couldn't get back to the wake with the handle, so officially 3.5 at 35 off. 2 skiers to go. Next, you will see Jill Knudsen, who is on the water in moments here in Abbotsford. Stay tuned. The 2001 Mastercraft Pro Water Ski Tour back in a moment.
Hey guys, this CD RXDI is running great. How about a splash of gas and I'm out of here?
Have you got any kings? Go fish.
Hey, are you still mad because we didn't let you drive? Come on, Jimmy, it's my turn to drive. I see you drive. Right on the back, right on the back. It's my turn to drive. That's where you belong, on the back. I want to drive the boat.
Dr. Kravitz? Let's lose that appendix.
Mother, I'm home. I'm a big spicy butterfly. I gotta get out of here. Eat me.
Ray Lewis.
As a man, he scares the hell out of me.
Sports Century Friday. From an opponent's worst nightmare to the controversy he can't escape.
Ray Lewis lied to the police, and they knew that he lied.
Find out who Ray Lewis really is.
He's gone to a very dark place to gather his fuel for Sunday.
Ray Lewis. Sports Century, the top 50 and beyond. 8 p.m. Friday, only on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC now.
2 skiers to go on the final stop of the Mastercraft Pro Water Ski Tour here in 2001. Jill Knudsen on the water. She elected to bypass the 28 off warm-up. Comes the opposite direction now with 32 off.
That's an interesting strategy that she'd go right to 32 off. So she must be feeling very confident, very comfortable. Skier who trains in Washington State, not too far from here. Married with the child and skiing better than ever. She says her skiing is actually settled down. She's more focused, more relaxed, just having a great season.
Well, here in Abbotsford, we will decide a tour champion. Most think it's going to be Christy Overton-Johnson, who's with Dave.
Christy, this is the final stop of the season. You look in great shape now to win the tour. How much pressure do you feel to win the event?
I've been more worried about winning the tour just because at the beginning of the year, I'm coming out of the neck surgery. I wasn't predicted to do that well in the magazine, and so it's kind of sweet to be able to end up back on top. I haven't really kept up with the points that well to know it still might be taken from me. I'm not sure. And when I started worrying about it, my husband's like, go ski. So now I just have to turn and focus on trying to win the event today.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, back to the water. Jill Knudsen now at 35 off, and we have done the math for Christy Overton-Johnson. Mathematically, it is possible that she could have it taken away from Natalie Hamrick today. We'll get more into that in a moment.
Jill in great shape here. Look how early she is. waiting for each buoy. Watch her head. She's just really dialed in here, and I'm very impressed with her rhythm. Once in a while, we'll see her head drop into the turn on this side. That is normally not a good thing. Skier wants to keep their eyes level with the horizon, which she seems to do well on the 2-4 side. But over here on 1-3-5, sometimes that head will fall in. Watching the ski tip to see that it stays down. And she runs 35 off and is looking like her confident self.
Well, the magic number 4 at 38 off. We currently have 2 tied with that number.
Here's 38 off, 1 ball. Great start. Away from the ball very cleanly. Again, she hooks up quickly off of 2. She's on her way to 4. Running fast and late, though. Whoa, she digs for 5 and goes just inside of it.
So now, Dave, 3 skiers, 4 at 38 off.
Well, she really showed that she was up to the challenge today, coming through at least with a tie for the lead. And this took a lot of determination here. She really dug hard for that buoy and had the best shot of anyone of trying to get to the 5th buoy.
Well, Jill Knudsen skiing just for herself, not really a factor when it comes to the Inmar Tour title here in Abbotsford, but she's atop the leaderboard with 2 other ladies, and she's with Dave Benzel dockside.
Jill, tell me about your strategy. Why did you start at 32 off?
You know what, Dave? Sometimes I feel like in the finals I have so much energy, and if I start at 28, I feel like I just get lazy out there. So if I start at 32 with the energy level already, I feel like I don't need that warm-up pass. So I just felt like I was really going for it today, and I know that there wasn't any wind, so there wasn't any reason to start at 32, just for the pure fact that I was just so pumped out.
Well, you got 4, so we're sitting now with a 3-way tie with 4 buoys.
Yeah, I wish I would have got a piece of that 5, or at least I would have wished I could have run that pass, because I know Christy is just skiing so tough, and she has so much confidence. So, well, I think we're going to see her beat us all right now. We're going to take a little lesson is what we're going to see.
Well, we'll see how good Christy Overton Johnson is under the pressure. Last skier on the last tour stop here in 2001. A tour title within reach. It would be her 2nd in a row, but we have done the math as we watch her 32 off here, Dave. It very simply comes down to this. As well as Natalie Hamrick has skied, she's locked in the 3-way tie right now in 1st place. If she were to win the event, Christy Overton Johnson would then need a 3rd place or better. So the bottom line is she's got to beat those 3 girls at 4 at 38 off.
And with beating them, she would get both the event win and the season tour title. So a lot is riding here, and it's all going to come down to how far she gets at 38 off and how much farther past the 4th buoy. Jill made an interesting comment about how confident Christy seems to be. And I've noticed that recently, in spite of her injuries and surgeries and everything else, she has really gotten back into that Christy Overton position that we've always seen. Great posture, great even turns on both sides. She just looks in control.
You got to wonder, because Christy made the comment earlier in the show that her husband told her, just stop thinking about the numbers, about the tour title. You got to wonder if she knows right now that she has to literally beat the other 3 at 38 off.
And there's 35 off, done cleanly. She has set herself up now for a chance to win it all.
Might be better not to know that information, you know?
Well, that's an interesting point to discuss, because some athletes don't want to know exactly what they want to do. They just want to go out and ski. Other athletes say, tell me exactly what I got to beat.
Right.
And that's where I'll go. Christy is the kind of skier who today knows she's got to run past 4 at 38 off to win the event, and that will give her the season title. She knows the target. She's going after it.
So 32 off done, 35 off done. Here's the magic run. Tour title and an event victory if she can get past 4 at 38 off.
Oh, good start. Look at this. Good tight line at number 2. Oh, she's in great shape. And she's got 4. There's the tie, and there's the win. She got around the 5th buoy, but she's going for more. She runs the whole pass. Watch for the smile. Yes, she knows. She is very pleased and very relieved. This is the nicest 38. Really, at no time was she in any trouble whatsoever. great speed control, so much ski in the water at each turn, and that is part of her magic, is that she uses the ski so well. The tip does not come up or do any kind of a wheelie, except with rare exceptions. Look how much ski in the water there once again. So she's getting these dynamic turns off of every buoy, and it just keeps her ahead all the way.
So she bites off even more than she needed. The Tour title has been ensured, as well as the event victory.
And actually a chance to come back at 39.5 off. The only skier to run 38 off here today.
This will be, incidentally, 2 Tour titles in a row for Christy Overton Johnson, who, as they say with wine, I guess, just gets better with age. Just smoother and smoother as time goes by.
So we took a little more rope and pulled it into the boat. Another 1.5 feet. Here's 39.5 off. Really of no consequence. But for the fans, Christy takes a shot at it. Whoa, and there we did see finally a wheelie. The tip did come up, and she'll take 1 buoy at 39.5 off.
And a victor's run here in Abbotsford.
Now you have to remember, Christy has run the 39.5 off, so it certainly was not without possibility. She holds the tour record.
Well, she's been skiing since she was a young child, 31 years old now, a long-time pro. Christy Overton Johnson, back-to-back Inmar Tour titles. A wonderful day for her here in Abbotsford, British Columbia. Dave Benzel making his way down to the dock. Dave, take it away.
Christy, congratulations, not only in event win, but also the tour season is all wrapped up now, and you went out and gave quite a clinic for these folks. No one else ran the 38 off pass all weekend except you.
Yeah, I just went out and tried to take one buoy at a time and really focus on my style. And 38 both days were my best pass, so I was really pleased with how it went.
Obviously, your confidence is back where we saw it a couple years ago. I mean, you're able to go out even with the pressure of being last off the dock and run a pass that no one else is running. What does that feel like for you to come back to where you were?
It just feels wonderful. I mean, God's allowed me to go through some trials the last few years, and I think 6 or 7 surgeries, and just to be able to work hard, and it's nice to put yourself to the test and to get back where you were. And hopefully there won't be too many more tests because I'm getting tired, but I just give him the glory for this. It's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
She gets better with time. When we come back to Abbotsford, British Columbia, we'll hand out some hardware. Stay tuned.
Did you get my handle already?
No.
What do we call 33 years of world record poles? Just warm it up. Introducing the all-new ProStar 190 EDO from Mastercraft.
I'm on an all-night flight when suddenly, terrible heartburn. The guy in the next seat says, try this, Zantac 75. Thanks, I say. You know, maybe I had to see a doctor about this heartburn. He says you just did.
Zantac 75, the heartburn relief doctors trust.
The compact Presario 1200T. With an Intel Celeron processor, TFT display, 128 megabytes of memory, and JBL Pro audio, it's one smart investment. And at just $9.99, it's also incredibly affordable. Call 1-888-529-7472 toll-free and get a $50 instant rebate off any Presario notebook with Intel processor.
They are Saturday soldiers fighting for every touchdown. Be part of the action with ESPN Game Plan only on pay-per-view. It's maximum college football with over 100 extra games you can't see anywhere else. Catch all the top conferences. To order, call your local cable operator, DirecTV, or Dish Network.
Now your first source for sports news is even better. The new ESPN News with the enhanced bottom line that's always on. Live score updates, in-game stats, highlights, and more. The new ESPN News.
The 2001 Mastercraft Pro Water Ski Tour has been brought to you by Water Ski Magazine, the world's leading water ski publication. Also by Mastercraft, the leader, and pulling farther ahead. Well, 2 years in a row, she takes the podium for the Inmar Tour title. She also wins the event here at Abbotsford. Christy Overton Johnson, victorious here in the final stop in the tour. Won at 39.5 off. Then the three-way tie there. Tony Neville, Natalie Hamrick, Jill Knutson, 4 at 38 off. And Christy had to beat them all for the tour title, and she did. As far as the tour standings, Overton Johnson atop. Natalie Hamrick makes a nice move here as well. Jill Knutson does herself good. Emma Shears was in second place coming into the event. She ends up, unfortunately, in fourth place on the Tour title. Testament as to how big one event can be. Final words now with our Christy Overton Johnson, the Tour winner for 2001. She's with Dave Benzel.
Christy, congratulations for the season title. And talk to me for a second about the mental battle of trying to win going on such a long season like this.
Well, I mean, you just have to take every tournament by itself and not think about, them all together. And I just try to take one buoy at a time when I'm out there. And I knew that it's going to be a long season. And this year's been kind of odd because we've had some big breaks. And I like to go and have them back to back. And to have a month here and a month there, you just kind of sit home and start thinking about a lot of stuff. So
what does the future hold for Christy? I know you've got a family and other things going on. What more skiing do you want to accomplish?
Well, the Worlds is coming up again in September. I would love to repeat on that victory. But I've been so blessed to have won every title out there. And if I have to stop today, I'm just so content that I've been blessed to do this as a career. But I still feel like I have a lot left in me, and I'd love to run a little more than 1 at 41 and bump my world record up before I can retire.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to watch, and Christy Overton Johnson providing us our 180 energy drink move of the day.
And that one buoy at 39.5 off. Just imagine the world record being at the next rope, shortening from that, and she holds it. And there's a good reason why she does. She's the best.
It has been a wonderful season, capped with a big victory for Christy Overton Johnson. For Dave Benzel, I'm Doug Dunbar. We thank you for watching. Sad to put the skis away for the winter, but there will be another summer to come. For all of us here, thanks very much for watching. From Abbotsford, British Columbia, this has been a presentation of ESPN, recognized as the worldwide leader in sports. For more, you can log on to ESPN.com. So long from the Great White North.
From the 2510.
I got it for 2505.
But we ordered at the same time.
That's too bad.
Well, why did your broker get it cheaper?
Because I'm married.
And fortunately, most of us don't really have to think too much about what these men and women do on a daily basis. And the phrase New York's finest and New York's bravest, did it mean anything to us personally, firsthand? Well, maybe, hopefully, but probably not. But boy, it means something now, doesn't it? They put themselves in harm's way to protect people like us. And the men and women from the firefighters and the police department who are lost are going to be missed by this city for a very, very long time. And my hope for myself and everybody else, not only in New York but everywhere, is that we never, ever take these people for granted. Absolutely never take them for granted.
Nice man who put on a superb broadcast last night. That'll conclude our NBC News coverage for this hour. We'll see you next hour. For now, I'm Brian Williams, NBC News.